Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Wait, let me see. Hold on. Let me see. One second. Hold on. All right. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi. Hi. How are you?
How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful.
Nice to finally get you on the line. I know we've been playing tag.
I know, right? It's been a minute.
Uh-huh. How's it been going?
Oh, everything is going good.
All right,
You know, okay, I can hear you, huh?
yeah, we just want to definitely get. I wanted to tune in with you because I know when you first became a member of FTA. Uh, do you think you were traveling out of town for vacation or something like that?
Yep.
So so if you can, give us a brief introduction, who you are, your name, and your whole experience with operating with IDP and IDL.
Okay. So I just want to say one thing. When it comes to you, Hellraiser, you are the bomb. I must say that because one thing about it, I was actually remember when I originally got in touch with you, you were able to offer me the expedited service. So I actually got my IDL International Driver's License the day before travel. So I just want to commend you for that, for getting me the documents in a timely fashion.
Indeed, indeed. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Um, so I was traveling from upstate New York, Buffalo, and I was going to California. My experience from Buffalo to California, I just think it's like sort of like educating the TSA. But a lot of the times they're not too familiar with those type of documents.
Mhm.
Um, it's just being humble through the experience and not getting upset because you're dealing with people that don't know.
Yeah.
So initially, you know how you check your bags in and everything like that. They asked for ID, and I just handed them the international driver's license. There's no issue. So as I went through the actual checkpoint, um, they kind of stopped me there, and they say, "Hold on, give me 1 second." And they end up calling like a supervisor over. And they said to me, "Do you have anything else besides this?" I said, "Sure." So I handed them my debit card, which had the name on it. And I handed them my tribal ID, which also had the name on it as well. And it took probably about 20 minutes. They ended up calling a couple of other supervisors over. So one of the gentlemen came over to me. He said, "Oh, that's a international driver's license. We were told not to accept that." So I gave him like a blatant look. I didn't even say anything. So I gave him a look like, huh? Like sort of like shocked, like,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't say anything. So I said, let me allow them to explain where they're coming from with that. So I didn't.
Right.
So they go and they're all gathering around. They're looking at the driver's license. I actually showed them the permit as well. So they looked at that. So I handed them that, and I handed them the debit card. So they're over there and they're all gathered around, and I'm just like, oh my God, like are they gonna allow me on the plane or what? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, I'm a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not gonna show that,
Mm-hmm.
because when you're doing things like that, you do have you don't know what the outcome is gonna be.
Right. Right.
You
And
don't know
it's an
who you.
energy test too. It's a spiritual war at best. So they
Mhm.
test your energy, see if you stand on top of your square and stuff like that.
Exactly. So that's what that's the main thing that I was entertaining in my mind as well. Just stay humble, don't talk too much, just allow them to do their job. Because
Exactly.
they have a job to do also. So
Mm-hmm.
I just stood there. It must have been about. So they sent over another one. Someone else. Do you have anything else with your name on or an address? So I said, I have like maybe like with debit card came, you know, for that. I'm like, if the bank is able to recognize the name. you guys are TSA. I mean, they deal with higher, you know. So then he's like, okay, give me 1 second. So then they go back again, and they're all huddled in the corner, looking at the documents, and they call someone else. So I'm like, oh my god, like, wow. So I just stood there. I'm just like, mind you, my hands is like, oh gosh, am I gonna get on this plane or not? So then they handed me my documents and they said, okay, but we're gonna have to take you through a special screening. I said, okay, I'm pretty familiar with that. I've been through this process already. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So they kept a supervisor with me at all times. I also had my son with me, who's 8 years old as well. They asked him who his name was. He gave them who he was. So they took me through like a special screening where they put me, like the little things that's in the airport where I'm not even sure what it is. They press the button and then
Yeah,
you have to open.
scan your body. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Scan my whole body. And then once I left through that, they had an individual like pat me down, check me out, and they said, oh, I'm sorry, but we're gonna have to go through all of your stuff. I said, okay, no problem. Go ahead. You have to do what you have to do. I wasn't belligerent or anything like that because that's your job. You have to do what you have to do. So then they ended up checking all my stuff. Okay, you're free to go. And that was it. So it wasn't too bad.
Okay. No, that was your experience leaving, going to the destination. What
Mm-hmm.
about coming back?
Okay, so coming back, it was sort of the same thing, but coming back, they did the same thing, but they didn't mention we was not allowed to take the ID. They didn't mention anything like that. I'm thinking because flying through LAX is international,
Mm-hmm.
so they end up just calling just a supervisor over, just one person, whereas opposed to before they had about several.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
And
researching, taking a look at their radioing on the phone to whoever higher up.
that
You know
was
what I'm
that was New York, right?
Right, that was New York leaving.
Okay.
Like, because I'm like closer to Canada, like Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
So it took a lot of supervisors leaving, but coming back, it was just one individual.
Mm-hmm.
The TSA agent said, "Give me a moment." She took my boarding pass as well as my ID, and I didn't have to. The difference is when I was leaving from LAX, I was just able to provide them with just the international driver's license and the permit. They didn't ask me if I had anything else, so it
Gotcha.
wasn't questioning. All they
Gotcha.
did was supervisor over, and the supervisors just said the same thing that they told me leaving, that we're going to have to take you through a special screening, which they did, and it was okay after that. Once they took me through the special screening and they searched all my luggage and everything, and then they patted me down, patted my son down, and it was pretty much smooth sailing from there.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, that's these are key things, and it's definitely for each experience is its own educational, experience, because each state operates different, each airport in each state operates different, are maybe more, some may be more familiar than others, some may be more, skeptical than others, just in general. But like you said, it's all about definitely standing on your ground, but believing in what you're doing, who you are, you know what I'm saying, and not letting that spiritual shield drop, when challenged or questioning as far as the validity of who you are and how you how you represent yourself.
Mm-hmm. Bingo. And yes, that's the key, and just being confident, no fidgeting, and even if you are nervous, you don't want to show that,
No.
and that. Mm-hmm.
Hmm. That's pretty much the key, because the reality of it is nobody can validate you but you. You know what I'm saying? That's the reality, and their system is not the highest form of validation. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Although because we're still operating within agencies within a system that we did not create or design, because
Mm-hmm.
so we lack a certain amount of dependence. Because of that, we do have a certain standards that we do
Mm-hmm.
stand upon, just to complement the structure that was built around us. You see what I mean? So we that's why we follow all the guidelines of as far as security feature wise, as far as presentation wise, as far, on every aspect regarding the identification, till it gets to the point where the only way where it would be questionable is if the person that's using it doesn't look like they're confident in using it. You see what I mean? So that's the only thing that would throw the red flag there. But I honestly, I enjoy hearing, especially see the TSA and Homeland Security experiences through the airports are probably our most valuable and important, experiences and lessons, because everybody knows and can agree these are the individuals and the agents of the or the gatekeepers that are trained to validate men and women and identification, things of that. They're trained on specifically identification. You know what I'm saying? So so for us to have the success that we're having, that is beyond unbelievable, but at the same time it's exactly where it's supposed to be. And
like when leaving, when he put the ID under the light, his eyes was like, whoa, when they had that do not detain, do not apprehend on there. I felt like, yes. That's, he was like, oh man, I never seen it. He's like, I never seen anything like that. I have to call up to my superiors.
Yeah. They when they start seeing those type of features, like, whoa, well, they don't know what type of treaties they crossing, what type of
Scared, his eyes got so big, like, whoa.
So this is the thing. Honestly, like the situation in New York, anytime we're in a situation and we have, the feedback regarding experiences where not one but two, three, higher ups come to verify, identification, and you get past that, that means a lot. You know what I'm saying? That means a lot, because each person that was called had to been at a higher degree than the last person that was called. You see what I mean? So for it to get through all, so we can count those as individual screenings. You know what I'm saying? On higher levels. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not gonna, if you're trying to verify, based on the sake of just making sure everything is all good, making sure that they're following protocol, make sure they're doing their job. They're protecting their ass and everybody else's. You know what I'm saying? So that's their job. That's why, we're not supposed to get mad. We're not supposed to, be talking crazy and acting crazy. But exactly what you did is exactly what we're supposed to do. If they give us a response or questioning any way, form, or fashion where it's like this cannot be accepted, no, let's get the fuck out of here. Quit playing. Like you wasn't taught that. I'm gonna need you to go ahead and look into that more. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what you did. And they went back there and they went through their little protocol. And they went ahead and let you pass. Now, some people might say, they made you go through a special security. I don't know why would they do that? I'm like, people don't understand like common sense. Common sense tells you if you're dealing with anybody in a foreign capacity, you see what I mean? Because technically, you're dealing with somebody that's not in your jurisdiction, that you don't have any type of contractual control over, et cetera, et cetera. So anybody in that capacity, and considering the common sense of general safety, in relation to traveling via airplane and stuff like that, it's like well, I would expect them to do a special search to make sure we're not coming on there, fucking terrorists coming on with a bomb. Let's be real here. Why, you know what I'm saying? As long as it's respectful. What did they disrespect you in any way?
Not at all. Nope. There was no disrespect, and they actually asked for permission to pat me down. Do you mind? I said, go ahead. Can we touch your hands? You know how they you do that little thing to see if you have any gunpowder. Do you mind? I said, no problem, because I understand, they have certain protocol that they have to follow. So they didn't teach.
That's the respect.
way.
that
It's
that
very
that's the respect they have, and that's showing even more how much they respect, and how much they understand. See, now they understand, because at first is, do you understand? So I was talking to us. Now they understand, because now when they act, that see, that's part of their training too. When they ask you, every time they ask you, can we see?
mhm,
Because now they know everything they do to you. Now they have to request permission on a case by case basis.
mhm.
Can I wipe your hands? Can I check your luggage? You see what I mean? And we have to authorize that. You know what I'm saying? Because now, by way of a driver's license or a state ID, or a U.S. passport in that nature, permission has already been granted by way of those contracts already. You see what I mean? That's
I
why they don't ask.
mm,
You see what I mean? So
mm,
so 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 this is the language that's going on. This is the silent language that's going on.
and they were very delicate too. I'm gonna say that very delicate.
Yes. Hmm.
Mm,
So needless to say, how do you feel operating in that fashion?
I feel like awesome. I'm not a person that breaks any laws anyway.
Right.
That's the icing on the cake. Just allow me to do what I need to do without
Mhm.
infringing on my rights.
Absolutely.
So I would recommend anyone go get your international driver's license and permit. This is the man right here. Yes. We need more of us out here with those type of documents so that way they'll know how to handle us. We
Hmm.
need more of us out here exercising our rights. That's how I look at it.
The right to travel is one of the most important rights to exercise, and because that's connected to every other right. If they stop, they stop you from moving point A to point Z, that's connected to everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
But man, I appreciate your time, and
Thank you.
it definitely was worth the wait. And if you need anything, you know how to reach me.
All right, wonderful. Thanks, family. You have a good day, okay?
All right, bye bye.